Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Andrew Discusses, where today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite movies as a kid. And honestly, if it wouldn't have been for YouTube recommending one of the songs from the movie to me, I probably would have. Well, I still would have remembered it existed. It's one of my favorite movies as a kid, but I wouldn't have remembered it, and it wouldn't be in the forefront of my mind right now. So thank you so much, YouTube, for that. And not in a good way, because when you get to the third movie in canonical order, not chronological, in canonical order, when you get to the third movie, the one song actually makes me cry slightly. So thank you, YouTube. I want to remind you of that. Thank you. But today I want to talk about The Brave Little Toaster. Now, for those of you that have never seen this movie, first off, it came out in '87, so please, for the love of God, go see it. You can even, unless YouTube yanks off some of the videos that are up here, you can pretty much see the movie on YouTube. Literally. Either way, it's a really good movie. But my God, is this thing dark? I mean, when you watch it as a kid, you're not thinking, okay, it's not that scary. Oh, okay, well, you don't get it. When you rewatch it as an adult, oh my God, is this thing terrifying? So the plot of the movie is basically five appliances: a toaster, a lamp, a radio, a blanket, and a vacuum cleaner. Ironically named Toaster, Lampy, Blanky, Radio, and Kirby. Seriously, Kirby the vacuum. I love that. They decide they're going to go seek their master, the little kid that used to play with them, because it's been like over 2,000 days and they're terrified he's never coming back now, and the cottage that they were in is put up for sale. So now they're terrified, so they decide to go off and search for him, go into the city. And along the way, they come across a lot of unique challenges. You have, the wild animals that are amazed by how shiny they are, especially Toaster. You have the field mice that want to take and or eat Blanket, and they end up eating part of the picture of the master that he has. You have the whole lightning storm, which, yeah, like I said, this movie gets a little dark. But there's one point, there's a lightning storm that literally wakes everybody up after Toaster has a nightmare. Everybody's awoken by this really massive thunderstorm, and Blanky's blown away. And while they're looking for him, they realize that the battery they're using to power themselves, and that's connected to the office chair, is dead. The battery is dead. So in essence, they're fucked. So, and yes, I had to say that, otherwise this would be more for kids video, and no, this is not, this is a movie for kids, but it's not for kids. If you get my gist, the first one is for kids, but not for kids. This is what you call the 80s for kids. You want to watch this movie? Get ready to be just like your parents are. They're a little more rounded than you, but yeah, no, this is not for kids. It's for kids, but not for kids. But Lampy sacrifices himself, gets really hurt in the process, but recharges the battery by using himself as a lightning rod, which, stupid idea, but in all honesty, it works, and he makes a brave sacrifice. He survives, he's in pain, and obviously fucked up, but once they find Rob, he'll fix him, not a problem. So, of course, this all leads to the whole massive other problems. They find Blanky, Kirby saves him. They get to a waterfall. Kirby starts having a nervous breakdown. Toaster has a bad case of vertigo because he's terrified of heights and water. And both of them are currently staring him straight in the face. It's like, that's not good. So Toaster gets paralyzed with fear. Everybody falls into the water. Kirby saves him. And they end up... there's a few good songs in this movie because it is a musical. It's based off of a book, which I didn't know. I didn't know there was a book. I'm going to be honest. I didn't know there was a book. And apparently there's a book. I didn't know that. Honest to God, I didn't know that there was a book. But there's a book. One for each of the movies. I didn't know. I'm going to have to try to find those now. But apparently, what ends up happening is they end up going to this really weird repair shop. Basically, think of it like Dr. Frankenstein's lab, only in this case, it's run by, well, a jackass who tears apart literally just tears apart machines and sells their parts. He literally, that a blender that he just used, he takes the motor out of the blender to sell to a guy for like $6. That's just freaking horrifying. And he does this in front of everybody. All the appliances are now terrified of what they're seeing. By the time he's ready to do it to radio, it's like, oh no, they're intervening on this one. And Lampy has a brilliant idea, and it stops. The guy's name is St. Peter. Yeah, St. Pete. Yeah, he's freaking stop him happily, and they all escape. But oh my god, this movie is dark. But there is some good stuff though to it. I mean, like I said, it is a musical because there are some musical parts in it, and I do like some of the music in this movie. Sure, some of it's just licenses, like when they're what was it, Tutti Frutti? Because I think that's a Little Richard song if I remember right. But still, that's basically just licenses. Some of them, but some of them are really good. There's a song "City of Light" that's really good. It's one of my favorites. The B-movie song, which basically takes place in the parts shop. It's where all the mangled appliances are basically singing. It's terrifying, but at the same time, it is catchy as hell because you're trying to figure out, oh my god, this is nuts. And it's so fast-paced, it's like, damn, this is good. But none of them compare to my third favorite from the movie, and that is the song Worthless. It's played at Ernie's Disposal, the junkyard that all the appliances go to after they're kicked out of Rob's apartment by the cutting-edge, new-edge appliances because they want to go with Rob to college. They don't like the idea that he wants to take his old stuff with him. Well, he wants to take the old stuff because it's comforting to him, What the hell? It's sort of like Andy at the end of Toy Story 3. He wanted to take Woody off to college with him because, hey, if I take Woody with me to college, I won't feel so alone. It won't feel so bad. I'll have Woody by my side. And if, in all honesty, if Andy would have found out what Bonnie did to Woody at the end of Toy Story 4, oh, he would have regretted giving it to her. He would have regretted that big time. But anyway, yeah, it's, the movie gets dark, I'm not gonna lie. The song Worthless is definitely the nail in the coffin for it being a darkish movie, because you have all these cars that are sort of like accepting their fate, that they're going to be crushed alive. They're close to death, but they're getting crushed. They're being killed because they're no longer useful. In fact, there's a scene where the small truck supposedly drives onto the conveyor belt, and that kind of got cut in certain aspects because it, freaked out the audience like the truck was committing suicide. But the thing is, if you know what your fate is, you know you can't escape it, you have two options. Either accept it or just go headlong into it. If you know you're destined for that crusher, you have no chance in hell of escaping it because the freaking super magnet's going to pick your ass up. You have two options. It's either just go for it or try your damnedest to run, and you're not going to succeed. So yeah, it just went for it. And it's probably just like a rare occurrence, but it probably happens. It wouldn't surprise me if a few vehicles probably did that. But the fact that, he just basically jumps to his death, it's terrifying. Then you have the fact that the magnet's trying its damnedest to crush the appliances because they are escaping fate. Their fate is to be crushed as far as he's concerned. As far as the magnet's concerned, their fate is to be crushed, and it's not happening. And it's like, oh my god, no, this is not happening. You are not escaping this. Finally, when Rob shows up with his girlfriend, Chris, all of a sudden it's like, hey, it's a miracle, I found my blanket, I found my lamp, I found my radio, I found my vacuum, now where's my fucking toaster? And he can't find his toaster. Well, the magnet, now really pissed off that now they have been found and now they will be escaping. Oh no, nothing escapes this junkyard alive as far as it's concerned. No, now it's pissed off. So it decides, oh, I'm gonna crush the freaking human along with you. You guys want your human? I'm crushing all of you then. And the toaster, still suffering from the fear of heights, climbs up to this tall pile of cars, to jump into the gears to save the master and everybody else, and gets mangled in the process. And there's a version of this somebody had up on YouTube. Now, I don't know if it's the official version or if it's just somebody just did a really shitty cut. I cannot imagine this being an official version, because if it is, well, then that officially got greenlit as a dark-ass movie. And I thought, the original ending for, God, I keep forgetting what the hell it was called. Son of a bitch. God damn it, I watched it the one year. What the hell was it called? God, Rick Moranis was in it. The thing with the plant. Come on. God damn it! I can't think of it. God, I can't think of it. Little Shop of Horrors. There we go. I just really had to think there. My God, I really had to think. But yeah, it's almost like if that original uncut version of the Brave Little Toaster, where the toaster just jumps into the gears, gets mangled up and dies. If that was the actual conclusion that they had planned, by God, this movie's dark as shit. I mean, that is dark. And I mean dark. We're talking dark. Like mega dark, ultra dark, super giga dark. Not in a good way dark, but dark. I mean dark. Yeah. But anyway, that's happily not how it ends, because the toaster's saved by Rob, rebuilt, repaired, and then they all go off to college together. And that's where the first movie ends, on such a happy note that the appliances found the master. They're going off with the master to start his new journey in life, and they get to be part of the master's life again. And it's a good ending. And for years, I was comfortable with that ending. And then they made 2 sequels, and they were direct-to-video sequels, but they were taken out of fucking canonical order, because The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars, which was the 3rd movie, was released before the 2nd movie. Which makes no fucking sense to me. Because you have The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars. The plot of that movie is some appliances that are on Mars, they're Wonderlux appliances, they want to blow up the Earth. And a hearing aid that was left in the farm that Rob and Chris, live in, where he has his little veterinary clinic and his repair shop, this hearing aid accidentally gets their son beamed up to Mars. But because it was a one-way trip with the beaming, which you figure, why is it nothing can ever get beaming right? Spaceballs made a joke about it, but why is it nothing ever gets beaming right? That's the thing that bothers me. Nothing ever gets beaming right. But because of this, the appliances have to go to Mars to save the kid. So, of course, they have to contact their old friend Wittgenstein from the 2nd movie. You would not know any of these characters. You would not understand why Rob has a veterinary clinic. Why does Rob, the repair shops, he does repair stuff. But, why does he have a veterinary clinic? Him and Chris are married now. They have a kid. What the hell's going on here? Would somebody please explain this shit to me? And you'd have to see the 2nd movie, which is The Brave Little Toaster Goes to the Rescue. The Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue. That's the 2nd movie. In canonical order. And I actually had to argue with my mom over this, because she's like, oh no, you mean chronological. I said, no, canonical. Because if you watch this in chronological order, you're gonna get screwed bad. You need to watch this in canonical order, which is The Brave Little Toaster, The Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue, and The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars. Which, first of all, I love the title, just The Brave Little Toaster. Yet it deals with 5 appliances. 4 other ones other than the toaster, plus from the 2nd and 3rd movie on. It's like there's more than just the toaster. Hell, the first movie had a freaking TV and an air conditioner. There was another lamp. There was like multiple lamps, a hi-fi, a record player, hanging lamp, a tape deck. There's a whole slew of stuff in that first movie, appliance-wise. And that just begs the question of, oh my God, what the hell was this movie when it came out? But it was so damn good when I was a kid. I loved it. And then there's the whole, the musical aspect of it. There are good songs. Like I said, the 3 that I like from the first movie are City of Light, B Movie, and Worthless. Those are my three favorites from the first movie. From the second movie, I liked the song Remember That Day and Chomp and Munch. Those are good songs, and they definitely lend themselves to the plot. The third movie, the one song that I like in that, it is a tearjerker because it makes me cry every time I think about it, and that's the song Floating. It's a bunch of balloons as they're heading off to Mars, which, by the way, I want to specify how they get to Mars. When they contact Wittgenstein, he tells them, okay, you need a ceiling fan, a laundry basket, a microwave oven, popcorn, preferably with, I think it was caramel or butter or something, and the calculator with the directions. They're literally flying a laundry basket to Mars. They lost me on the plot, to be honest with you. It's why the third one's not one of my favorites. They lost me on the plot. But by God, that is the stupidest way to get to Mars. The vacuum of space alone, the fact that you have to escape G-force. I guess this movie, gravity and physics, just take a back seat. When you need to save the Master's child and there are appliances on Mars and appliances can walk and talk, we're going to throw physics out the door here. Fuck everything that we had going for us for science. Screw all this. No, fuck you all. No, we are definitely not having this. You're going to fly to Mars on a laundry basket with a ceiling fan powering you, a microwave oven with popcorn as your fuel source, and a calculator with the directions. You are going to Mars on a laundry basket. I'm sorry, that is the stupidest thing I have ever heard in my life, and it is just so damn funny because of it. I can't stop laughing, because it is the stupidest thing you could have ever imagined. Oh, you're going to fly to Mars on a laundry basket. Okay. I mean, the third movie does have some other good songs, too. I See a New You, when we're learning about Robbie, there's, Rob and Chris's son. We learn about him, he's growing up, the appliances, they're terrified that he's not going to love them like, the Master did. Oh, lo and behold, he does. He loves them just like his father did. He's literally just like his father. He loves the appliances. The blanket loves the kid. It's not, well, then again, the blanket just loves everybody. Come on, let's face it. But there are some good ones in there. Home Again, the final one's actually not bad, but Floating is the one song that I like the most in there, but it is a tearjerker if you sit down and think about it. It's a bunch of balloons that are floating away forever and eternity, and they're telling their story about how they got up into the atmosphere, how they, took off, and why they're free and why they're floating around. And it's basically because a little kid couldn't hold on to them. And it brings a tear to my eye every time I hear the song. I actually choke up. In fact, I spent the other night crying a little bit because I listened to it again. It is just that heartbreaking of a song. And you would think, okay, Home Again's a little heartbreaking. No, Home Again's a sweet song. And I will not lie, the voice actors that did these parts, they were damn good at singing. I'm not gonna lie. They were damn good at singing. But, it's just, you have to admit something here. It's heartbreaking when you hear that song. Now, in all honesty, I can see somebody go, well, what would you say if they would reboot this movie? They can't, technically. A few of the voice actors have sadly passed away, especially the one that did the voice of Kirby. He passed away. It was Thurl Ravencroft. He passed away. So you really can't remake the movie. Now, if they would want to do like a sequel type movie, like put up a fourth one or something, where it's like, oh, well, the Brave Little Toaster, I don't know, the next chapter or something, and it's basically Robbie is going off to college on his own, and he wants to take the toaster and that. And you just have down that, eventually over time, the appliances did wear out, they did break down, and they, and Rob couldn't save them, or Rob's keeping certain appliances, like the vacuum. And, I don't know, some of the ones where the voice actors are gone, and you don't feel right recasting the voice. You could do something like that. But in all honesty, this is one that I wouldn't touch, especially when a studio puts a movie direct to video, as in it doesn't go to theaters, it doesn't go on TV, it's direct to video, either VHS, DVD, Blu-ray. It's a direct to video sort of deal. Once they do that, they're never going to backtrack off of that. Direct to video basically means they have no faith that it is going to sustain itself in the theaters. This is the cheaper option that'll still net them a profit. And it may not even do that. It's basically a 50-50 gamble here for them. Most of the time, though, the budgets for those are a lot cheaper than they were the first time. Like, oh, here, we'll put, like, let's say $5.6 million into this back in 1980. And the original came out in 87. So let's say, like, we put $5.8 million in 1987 money into this movie. And it brings back, $10 million in profit. In 1987 money, okay? Hypothetically, I don't remember what it brought in, and I'm too lazy to look it up. But hypothetically, if it did that well, they're thinking, okay, this could work. But if it only brought in like maybe $2-3 million, and it's a kids movie, so it's already rated G to begin with. If it's in theaters, the MPAA, the Motion Picture Association of America, already crotch blocks it. This is why the Transformers movie had a PG, I think it was PG or PG-13 rating, because they knew if this thing would have gotten a G rating, it would have never taken off. They did the research for this, and I kind of want to thank the Brave Little Toaster for this, because if it wouldn't have been for the fact that this movie came out, and they saw that, hey, G-rated movies really do not do well in theaters because they're limited to screen time, because they're only geared for kids. You're not going to be a, 60-year-old going to see a G-rated movie. You're not going to be a teenager going to see a G-rated movie. When you hear G and the following picture has been rated G for general audiences, basically that means everybody. That's the MPAA version of E for everyone. It's not G plus 10, it's not G10 or G, it's G. When you hear G-rated, you're thinking it's childish, it's cartoony, it's for kids. Your mind instantly hits that. And for this movie to have succeeded, it could not have had that happen. And that's why the Transformers movie, they had to have the swearing in it. That's why Daniel's dad Spike goes shit. Because that instantly, that got them the PG, I think it was PG or PG-13 rating. That bumped them right out of the G rating. It's like, you said shit. Oh, no. This is the kiddie pool. You need to go over there. That's the foul mouth pool. Go over there. That's where you go. And the thing is, that helped that movie out so much. But for the Brave Little Toaster, this thing was dark. I'm amazed it got a G rating. I'm not even lying. But then again, there were some other G-rated movies that were almost as dark as this, if not slightly darker than this. I mean, look at the fucking last, what was it? The Never-Ending Story. The fucking horse drowns. Literally drowns. The kid's trying his damnedest to pull the horse out of the swamp of misery. What was it? I think it was the swamp of misery. And it drowns. It literally drowns. That movie was dark as hell. You had, Dark Crystal, I'm not even going to get into that. Labyrinth. And there were some animated movies that I swear were too dark for kids. There was also a movie, what was it though? They just remade it to last year, or the year before, Witches. That movie was dark as hell. It's basically witches that want to eat children. They're going to turn them into mice to eat them. Or turn them into mice so that they can be killed. It's like, really? This doesn't scream dark as shit to you. It does to me, but not to you. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But still, it's just one of those things that, in all honesty, it bugs me a little bit, but not much. But this movie, I want to thank the Brave Little Toaster for this, because I kind of think if it wasn't for this movie, that a lot of future movies that did come out would have just fallen victim to the G rating curse, where it's like, it's an animated movie, it's instantly rated G. Oh, this is an animated movie, but you said the word shit, you're out of the G rating. Thank God. But The Brave Little Toaster was a sweet movie. I remember it fondly as a kid. It's one of my favorites. The second one, To the Rescue, is not bad. It's not the world's greatest, but then again, direct-to-video, what do you expect? It doesn't exactly bring a crap ton to the table, but that's the thing. Direct-to-video movies never do. If they do come out, and when they do come out, it's basically, I feel alright about it, or, oh, it's a cheap little, oh, look, my kid loved this movie as a kid, oh, they made a sequel, oh, and then you're thinking to yourself, it must have been in theaters, and I didn't take them to go see it, oh my god, I gotta buy this, and that's the mentality that direct-to-video movies, especially back in the 90s, when there was, like, no information, no way, no decent way, I should say, because the internet did exist in the 90s, but no decent way to get information. I mean, there weren't blog posts, there weren't YouTubers, there weren't people reviewing stuff. You didn't have the knowledge that you do now back then. So you're seeing this on a store shelf, you're thinking, oh my god, this must have been in theaters. I didn't know about it. I didn't take him to go see it. I didn't take my kid to go see this. Oh my god, I'm a horrible parent. And then you instantly buy it because you're guilt-ridden. Because it's like, they're going to love this movie. They loved the first one. Then they watch it and go, oh, well, it's definitely a continuation, because the end of it, spoiler, by the way, the movie's over 10 years old, by the way. It's over 20 years old now. Yeah, actually, they all are. Actually, I think the one's 30 years. Yeah, the original one's at least over 30 years now. And both the sequels are at least 20, or a little over 20 years old. So the movie's been out for a while. But the second movie, Rob graduates college, proposes to Chris. There you go. And that leads into the third movie, Goes to Mars, where they have a kid. You imagine these two as parents, by the way, because there are just those points where you look at somebody, you're like, I can't imagine that person as a parent. Then you find out they have kids, and it's like, oh. You learn something new every day. Because I constantly have that. There's always that, oh, I never imagined you having, children. Oh, wow, you have kids. Huh. Well, you're not that bad of a parent. And that happens. But it's very, very rare that it happens, but it does happen. But either way, though, this was a Brave Little Toaster. I love this movie. I love discussing this movie. So what's some of if you've ever seen the movie, what's some of your favorite parts from the movie? Do you like, the songs? Do you like the plot? Do you like the visuals? I mean, I know they cleaned up a lot from the original, because I think the original was like cell animation, and I think the later ones were definitely a little brighter, so I don't think they were cell animations, but they were definitely brighter. But what were your thoughts on The Brave Little Toaster? Did you like the three movies? Do you like some of them? Do you like certain parts of them and not the whole entire thing? Let's get a discussion going here in the comment section below. And until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes. This has been Andrew Discusses. Thank you all for tuning in.